In this episode, we explore the volcanic landscape of Lanzarote, an underwater museum, and have our first encounter with a camel. That Sixes building is actually a fishing school, so you can learn to fish here.
You and me, we're family. The bond that we share is as deep as the sea. No matter how rough things may come to be, you and me, we're family. Sing ho, hey long.
Okay, this is the biggest nativity I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's pumice from the volcano, and there's so much volcanic ash and pumice. They make buildings and floors. It's so warm.
We hired a car here from Cabrera Medina. Actually, it was Sicar Car. I think it's the same company, and it was really good. It was the first time we've hired a car, and they don't try and sell you loads of insurance and all the other stuff. You're covered for everything. So it was for one day. It was €35, just under actually. And I've got to say, I highly recommend this company, and it's completely different to the big companies. It's really good. I'm not going to mention any names.
Look at the volcanic ash in the fields.
What is this? Is it like? Is it...
The Timanfaya National Park of Lanzarote. So we're right up here amongst a lot of volcanic ash. Timanfaya National Park is a small part of the 172 square kilometres of volcanic debris from eruptions in the 18th and 19th centuries.
Between 9 and 10 o'clock in the evening, the ground suddenly opened up near Timanfaya, 2 leagues from Yaitse. During the first night, an enormous mountain arose out of the bowels of the earth. The flames which came out of its apex went on burning for 19 days. This signaled the beginning of the most important period of volcanic activity in the history of the Canary Islands.
So we're doing a bus tour through the lava fields of Lanzarote, and it's like an alien landscape around here. Mask back on.
Thick smoke emerges, spreading over the entire island. At the same time, huge quantities of lava and ash are scattered over the surrounding countryside.
They're just saying how difficult it is for anything to grow here because the massive fluctuations in temperature. It gets really hot in the grounds. Don't quite get the view today because of the amount of rain and mist, but I imagine there's a massive view down there.
It was like Venus.
After the bus trip, we were shown how hot the earth is beneath our feet.
120 degrees
Wow.
Celsius.
Because it's above a magma pool.
Or it is really warm.
Come here. Put your hand here. No problem, no problem. No problem.
Yeah, it is really warm.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I stay here today. You want to put your hand in? And then our guide decided to light us a fire from the rocks.
Few minutes to burn, okay?
No way.
Normally.
Do you think it's going to burn?
Actually,
final part of the show was then it was time for a picnic lunch before we met the camels. So here we are on a camel ride in Lanzarote in the Timanfaya National Park, which is volcanic, and I'm desperately trying not to fall out of my seat because I'm strapped in, but I'm holding on for dear life. There's the boys behind. So going downhill on a camel is actually almost as freaky as going uphill, because I'm just hoping they haven't got knees like mine and they're not going to buckle going downhill. It's a very bumpy ride, this. But these camels are good, strong camels. We weren't really sure whether we were going to go on them, but we decided that to support the local economy and also keep these camels fed, this is their job. They're strong camels, and they don't look mistreated in any way, and I think it's probably good for them to keep working, really. So we decided that we would do it, and it's an experience of a lifetime.
I think this is pretty cool because it's the first time on a camel in my life. Very shaky. It was pretty scary at first, then I got kind of used to it. The most scariest part was when it sat down, because you went ugh, ugh. Yeah, I think the ride was good. Rowan's camel and Mum's pooed twice and weaved once.
Really good. I'm glad that we all got to do that. Matt, what are you doing?
I'm trying to get a ride. I've had 4 hitchhikes.
Where's the scooter
I've
gone?
been all over. They're not doing them. I phoned them up and I went over to the one place, and there's none on the island.
We've just picked up a hitchhiker. Hi. Who is it, Ewan?
It's Matt.
Who's Matt?
It's our crew.
The last stop on our tour of Lanzarote is to see the Mirador del Rio. I'll just show you what we can see. As you can see, the Mirador, the viewpoint isn't as we expected, but so my tip really on that one is to make sure you go when it's a nice clear day with blue skies. This laundry is one of those places where you get people hitchhiking to try and get across the Atlantic Ocean, and they all put their name up and all their details and hope to get onto a boat that is going to sail across the Atlantic.
There's actually a few stories as well. For example, this guy wants to learn how to sail. He lived in Portugal, he's a traveller, he wants to learn the aspects of life in the universe, so he wants to sail around the world. Like, this guy wants to go across the Atlantic. He's been to the Black Sea, he did regattas in Malaga. How do you get a boating and sailing license? Have we got one? Oh, okay, yeah, you can get a boating and sailing license. He's got one. Okay, check this out. Look, night shifts, no problem for me. Cooking, you'll enjoy it. Cleaning, no problem for me. Oh, finances,
More than ready to contribute. Hey, pay
languages, English, German, Spain,
some Spanish.
Hey, that's just like me. Yeah, it's pretty cool, and this is him. People called Miguel and Victor actually, and one of them's learning to sail. One of them knows how to sail and wants to cook, and one of them wants to cook and knows how to sail. Like non-smoker and social drinker. Why would you want to even write that?
By the look of it, I don't think anyone's gonna be short of crew on the Atlantic.
So when we got to Arrecife into Marina Lanzarote, I couldn't believe it, but my friends also are here. When we first met, it was actually in Japan, and we were both travelling there and working there.
Over 30 years ago, yeah, so it's great to meet
So we're still
up
travelling?
again. Yeah, still doing it, yeah. Do it while you can.
And they're here to do some paragliding. I didn't even know you could do paragliding here.
We're here on a holiday, and I'm just going to look at the island, to try to paraglide some of the nice sights and some of the volcanic parks here, and just take a look and see it from the air. It's fun. We share the same wind. Wind is our thing, so
we follow the wind.
We follow the wind, and we finally get to look at the boat and see, have a feel of life on the water, which is very different, but big common interest in our sports or hobbies. In the UK, I'm a painter on canvas, so I paint pictures, and when times are good, I like to think I sell them, and yeah, it's fun, and travel with the money.
And how's
COVID's obviously destroyed many small businesses across the world, and it's very difficult, but you just do what you can. Now we're going to see the boat, finally.
Yes. And the next day we continue our journey and head to the south of the island of Lanzarote. We take it in turns. One of us does the deck work and the other one drives, and then we swap over. And we also get Matt and Rowan involved in some of the deck work. For this sail, we're trying to get the pole ready so we can pole out the Genoa. We are in Lanzarote, the south of Lanzarote, the Canary Islands. So we're going off to find the underwater museum. Apparently this guy has made some sculptures and dropped them down to the bottom of the seabed.
We're going to get our wetsuits out and we're going to go up there because the water is freezing, and because of COVID this year we've hardly had our wetsuits out at all.
We're going to an underwater cave museum with our wetsuits. Yoo-hoo!
This is Matt's first time snorkeling, isn't it, Matt? So, Mum, are you ready? I'm ready. Dad, are you ready? I'm ready. Rowan, are you ready?
How was that?
Wow, look at a hot bath. I enjoyed that. It's better than a day at school, isn't it? You'd rather do school than that.
Right now we are just going to the beach. You won't need it. I haven't got a wetsuit because I'm not planning on going swimming.
They're not getting any further.
Okay, monkey grip. You should have seen her ankle when she came out. She had sandal in her hair. She lost her glasses.
It's really difficult to get out because the waves are pushing you in. And what you don't want to do is end up with a wave crashing on you because it pushed me off my feet.
One big lifeboat crew said that could kill me. I died!
None of us had the strength to get out because it's pulling you in. Really strong current. So that is something not to be done ever. Yeah, so we've been anchored off this beach for a while. We kind of heard this really awful sound in the night and we think it was a chain rubbing on the rock. So, I mean, obviously woke up early thinking we better get that anchor up. So the anchor was stuck under a rock. But it came out because we motored forward and at that angle the anchor sort of came up nicely. Yeah, the problem is that the anchor, at the end of the anchor, the pointy bit is slightly mangled at the end. There was enough wind probably to put that strain on it. So now we're crossing to the north of Fuerteventura. There's an island called Los Lobos. So we're going to see in this place whether we can get on the islands here and go for a little walk.
So we're anchored off the Isla de Lobos, which is Island of Wolves, just north of Fuerteventura. And it's part of the national park. And nobody actually lives on the island, and there's no industry. I think there's one restaurant, but I'm not even sure that's open. But there is a kind of a steady influx of day visitors boats, even though they're not very full. But again, even here, it's kind of, you got that kind of curse of being in an anchorage with lots of day boats and triple boats coming backwards and forwards, causing lots of swell. But I guess you can't complain because at least some tourism is existing in the face of COVID. So this afternoon we're going to take a trip ashore because we couldn't actually get ashore in Lanzarote because the shore dump was just so powerful. We were frankly going to lose the dinghy. So I haven't been ashore for over a week, so it'd be good to get out and stretch my legs a bit.
Okay, that was really difficult getting on land. We actually couldn't leave the dinghy because of the swell. Okay, today's challenge after school is to climb to the top of this volcanic crater, or this sort of mountain that used to be a volcano.
You went down with that 15.
I learned to walk when I was 1 beneath the Oklahoma sun, and from that day I started taking my own route. I learned to read when I was 2, and I believed it all was true, too young to fill my mind with questions and with doubt. I made my first friend when I was 3. But by
I want to be the highest person on this island.
At 5 I wondered why people live and people die, and why the things I love just slowly slip.
That's our anchorage, and we walked all the way along the path. You can just see it all the way around there.
It's still shorter than it was actually.
Yeah.
Because it felt like 10 minutes.
Cold night, starlight, we are not alone. Cold night, starlight, we are not alone. We're together on our own. I said goodbye when I was 10 to Santa Claus and all his friends. I had to leave those childish stories all behind. But But when they told me God was real, I just couldn't help but feel this burning question that was tugging on my mind. By the time I was 11, I had given up on heaven and everything was falling into place. I kept my mouth shut so I wouldn't rock the boat, because a kid who's fallen overboard is just too ashamed to float. And still the stars remain the same.
It's pretty scary.
It's really shaky. Really shaky. Oh God. Oh no. Oh, Rowan, it's gone under.
Rowan is looking.
Uh-oh. Oh.
Thanks for watching, and especially thanks to our patrons who make these videos possible. If you would like to contribute towards the creation of these videos, then follow the description in the link below. So we would really love to hear from you. If you want to leave comments, you can go to the Facebook page, Instagram, or even the Patreon page and leave comments there. And don't forget to subscribe.
And if you want to do it, do it.
Right.